back to Crafted News. This is my host,
Alondra.
and we're here. This is a family affair now, and we have the GoldenEra and the 17th Watches. So I understand that you guys are brothers and a cousin, and you're the oldest brother, right?
Yep.
So you guys said, go ahead and explain your companies to us.
All right, so first with the GoldenEra, what we are, we're kind of like a clothing brand, but we're also, we have our own like social media account too, to where we post things from the 90s and 2000s. So what we try to do is we try to incorporate 90s and 2000s themes into our design. So, for example, like right here, you'll have like the Fresh Prince design.
Right.
Right here, you just have 90s, and you have all the R&B and hip hop artists of the 90s. So we do things of like that nature, create clothes that basically connect people with the 90s and 2000s era.
Right. Anyone else that? Austin?
Yeah, I mean, so basically, we just started off, thinking like more so, dang, like what is gonna appeal to people like that's more so within this generation. But it's like, think about it, everybody loved the 90s stuff, so we can do something that's gonna reiterate it within this generation. So we, like you said, we created, a little Fresh Prince logo right here. We have 90s, we got our 2000s hoodie right there. There's just so many different things and so many ways we can go with it. And me, Eric, and my boy Drew, he's not here right at the moment, but
Shout out to Drew.
Yeah, shout out to Drew. We all just started and put it all together, and we just been creating off each other's ideas on more things that can, old school 90s type.
Okay. Now, before we get into 17th Watches, why the GoldenEra? Why that name?
We just feel like the 90s and 2000s was the golden era. Like, if you listen to music, right, I feel like that's when the best music was created, especially R&B. And then, like, if you look at the sports, like, 90s you had Jordan, you had Shaq. Early 2000s, like, you had Kobe. LeBron came in 2003. You had T-Mac, Allen Iverson.
Right.
That's, like, one of my favorite players ever.
Right.
So just, like, people and just, like, even TV shows, all type of things from, like, the 90s and 2000s was, like, the best to me.
Right. To be honest, though, thinking about that, we're watching a lot of the cartoons. Always said like the old cartoons have more morals and like ideas they want to value compared to like these new characters, these cartoons. It's like
Man.
They got when you really watch like Hey Arnold back in the day, it's like man, like he was talking some real stuff right there.
It's
like,
crazy when you watch Hey Arnold or you watch like any show, you go back and you're like, man, all this went over my head because I was a kid, like, especially SpongeBob. Something like SpongeBob, I'm like, y'all missed so many jokes because I just didn't know,
Yeah, there was like a theme involved in like every type of cartoon. Like every episode, there was a theme. Like you should go out like this episode, learn the lesson. Nowadays, it's just kind of like, let me make you laugh, or let's do like something that's crazy,
right?
Like,
It's almost like no dialogue.
Even animation is different.
Yeah.
It just everything looks different. When I see someone watching like the new age cartoon, what is this?
Right, literally.
Yeah, what is this? And then you try to show them the older stuff,
right?
And they're not interested. You're like, man, you little kids is missing out.
Man,
y'all don't know what y'all don't know.
So let's get into you, Chris. So you got your 17th Watches.
Yep.
So explain, like, how do you even create a watch?
All right, so what happens is most watches, like 97% of all watches, are made overseas, right, in Asia. So what I wanted to do with my brand, I just wanted to like bring simplicity to the watch game. Like sometimes I go out and see watches. I used to collect them, so I would see watches and they were like just doing too much. Like I just wanted something simple on my wrist, and so that's why I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hit the minimalist type of thing, right, and I'm gonna push my motto, which is time is the only luxury. So what I did was I learned how to create a watch. I learned how to design a watch just on Google. I Googled it, went on YouTube, and then I went on Adobe Illustrator. I started playing with designs, So I'm staying up all night, all day, just like learning how to design. I would design something, throw it away, like delete it, not save it,
right.
Just to get better at it. And then I send over my design to the manufacturer, and then they'll give me like a mock-up saying, is this what you want? And I'm like, all right, well, change this and change that. Change this and change that. Then they start asking me about material, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know. Hold on now, like I don't know what y'all talking about.
Right.
What type of materials? Like what are my options? Things like that. So it started off me just like wanting to design, me wanting to have my own thing. And then I had to learn so much more about like the whole watch game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, so at first you wanted to make your own watch. It wasn't I want to start a business.
Yeah.
I want to make my own watch.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted my own watch. Yeah, exactly. So when I was traveling around, and every time I went to a new country, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get a new watch. And I'm like, man, I like this watch, but maybe it feels a different color, or maybe if the numbers weren't Roman numeral or whatever. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make like a few for myself. And then when you approach like these big manufacturers, you're like, yeah, I want to watch. They're like, one, Like one watch? What do you mean you want a watch? You know, like they're pushing out thousands at a time.
Right.
I'm like, I want one watch. Man, get out of here, you know?
Man.
So I start putting up like on my Snapchat, people are like, are you gonna sell those? I'm like, bingo, you know, like bingo. So
Man.
They
So
start
you,
asking.
yeah, people are
Where did
asking
you get
for
this
it.
watch?
Yeah,
Oh, I get
exactly.
my own watch.
Yeah. And people ask my friends and ask my family members and stuff like, oh, where'd you get that watch? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, my boy designed it. My cousin designed it.
it's pretty much how all you guys, even with the Golden Era, it's like you guys wear your shirts around, post on Instagram, everybody's like, whoa,
Kinda
that's
like, put that
different.
out.
Yeah. So that's how it is. Like we'll post something on our Instagram story, and to me it's just kind of like showing people like what I'm creating or what I'm doing, and they'll be like whoa, like that logo's cool or whatnot. So then I'll be like, you know what, maybe I should throw this on a hat or throw
Right.
this on a shirt or something because a lot of people like it.
Right. That's crazy. So let's get into it. Like you guys do worldwide shipping too, right? Like you guys sell all over the place.
Yeah.
Man.
So we ship to Belgium, we ship to Japan, we ship to the UK, we ship to Canada.
Where do you get
recently.
your most clientele?
You know, it kind of varies. Is it New York?
Yeah, I think
New
York.
I can feel like
yeah,
high quality New York, but they really mess
yeah.
with it a lot. They be having, you know, the little Tims and everything, the little GoldenEra, so they pretty dope.
That's
And you know,
weird.
they was super like the Cameron, you know, the Jay-Z's
Right.
over there, so they kind of got that whole little
Right.
swag and feel over that area.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
For me, it's the South. Like the South,
Really?
yeah, Tennessee, Bama, Arkansas. Like,
Wow.
every time I get an order, most likely it's from the South. Like,
Right.
there's so much support. Shout out to the South. There's so much support and hospitality over there.
Okay.
Overseas, it's probably like Germany. Like, yeah, so.
That must be really nice.
Yeah, I'm in like, you know, I've had orders for I think 14 to 15 different countries.
Okay.
I think Germany is the #1 supporter.
Top.
Yeah, or Canada. But
Shout out to Canada and Germany.
but in America, it's definitely the South. Like,
Right.
oh yeah.
That's crazy.
I also noticed on your website that you're doing a campaign with the 17th Watches. It's called Spread Love.
Yeah. Okay. So the spread love thing. So just to like educate people real quick, majority of the people living in this world don't have access to clean drinkable water, right? So that's like something that like I kind of took a hold of like before I even started the watch company. It was something I was aware of, right? So there's a company called the Water Project, and what they do is they'll go find an area like let's say in Kenya, and it's a school, and you know the way it works, the way like the culture works, and like especially Africa, the women have to do all the work, right? So if you needed water, like somebody might walk 3-4 miles to go get water, 3-4 miles back, you know, just to have water for the day. The thing is, there may be clean water around, but they just don't have access to dig for it or whatever, so they'll need funding. So what I did was I partnered up with them. We find projects throughout Africa, and then you just like I donate, you know, percentage of all my profits to them, and then they'll just like give me an update, like, all right, this is what you did for this school, or this is what you did for these farmers, this is what you did for there.
I
So-
saw on your Instagram post, it was really beautiful because you have testimonies from actual
Yeah.
children saying, you know, I get to study now and I don't have to walk miles to go fetch water.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it's something that we take for granted, you know, like
Definitely.
even being the poorest, the bottom of the bottom in our country, you still have access to clean water. You can always go to a park and get water. You can always go to the mall and go to a drinking fountain, you know, but in other countries, like people are dying because they get diarrhea one time, you know,
Yeah.
because the water isn't clean. So that's what the spread love thing is about.
Anytime anyone purchases anything, it's 50% of the profit.
No, so there's specific items. There's specific
the spread
items.
love.
Yeah, in the spread love category, whatever those items are, I'll just donate the profits.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's get into your personal life now. Like, what do you guys do? Where do you guys grow up? Let's start off with EJ.
All right, so I'm from. I would just like to say like the IE, probably because I grew up in like every city pretty much. But
Okay.
if I had to choose a specific city, I would say Fontana.
Okay.
So I go to UCR. I'm a 5th year.
Nice.
I'm studying math right now. I'm about to graduate. I got one more quarter left.
Wait, you're a math major?
Yeah. I'm a math major.
Man.
Hey, that's everybody's reaction too. Like,
Man, I average like a C in math like all my life. Man, I'm a math major, bro.
the craziest thing is like I used to be in mechanical engineering, so it's just like I mean it's been pretty tough, but I would say like we need more people of color to get into those type of fields.
Definitely.
Because we're like so like underrepresented,
Right.
and I just feel like it's gonna be dope, like you know, to have a degree in something that's like I can apply to the real world
Right.
or whatnot, and just I can help people out too, because a lot of people struggle with math, right?
Yeah.
So I can go and I can like tutor people or
Right.
show them that it's not as hard as everybody thinks it is.
True that. I'm gonna have to hit you up soon.
Yeah, you already know.
Man. What about you, Austin?
All right, so I grew up in Ritter Valley, California, pretty much. Till now, basically. I work at a car dealership right now.
Okay.
And I'm just building a brand as of now. I'm about to get into school probably next year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So right now it's just pretty much working and trying to build a brand as much as I can till I get there.
Right, that's what you gotta do. Chris?
So, I mean, obviously, it's my little brother, so we grew up in the same area.
Right.
So, I would call San Bernardino, Ontario, Fontana home. Graduated from Fontana High School. So, those are like my home areas, and I just run my company.
Man.
So,
And you,
and I travel. I do a little bit of traveling too.
A
Here
little
and there.
bit.
I noticed. You've been
Yeah.
to Paris.
Yeah.
Where else have you been to?
Let's see. Malta, Germany, Latvia, France like 8 times, the UK, Belgium.
Do you speak a little bit of French?
Nah, nah, I don't speak. What's crazy is you go to these different countries and you start to speak their language and they're like, "Hi, how can I help you?" You know, like,
Right.
don't butcher our language. We're gonna talk to you in English.
Man.
Yeah, so I suck, man. I suck.
What's your favorite place that you've been to though?
Greece.
Greece.
Yeah, Greece is.
I heard a lot of things about
Yeah, Greece is so chill. Like the time I went, you know, like I went with a friend and we were just like on some laid back stuff. We just laid on the beach, you know, like me and him were just kicking it, listening to music. Like we got some bomb food for little next to nothing, you know.
Right.
Like we went rock diving or cliff diving or whatever. It was so.
And tell us
cool.
about how like the people reacted to like seeing like.
Oh man, it's crazy. Okay, so one, being American somewhere, sometimes it's a big deal if they've never seen Americans before, right? On top of that, being a Black American, you know, like the way we're portrayed on a global scale, it's like you gotta be a rapper, you gotta be some type of superstar. You know, what are you doing out here? You know,
You
like
play basketball.
you gotta play basketball. Yeah, so they ran up on my boy and they thought he was on like the Athens basketball team. So they're like, "Oh, are you coming back to play next year?" He's like a tall dude, you know. Like,
Yeah.
"Oh, are you coming back to play next year?"
Man.
And without a hesitation, the dude was like, "I'm gonna go see what my agent is talking about." I'm gonna go see my agent. So then they start taking pictures with us, and then everyone's taking. I got a picture like from Greece. It's like me, him, and like so many other people just
Man.
lined up.
Celebrities.
Yeah, like it's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
But it's cool. Like you get like a strong welcoming, you know, like
Right.
especially if you go to those places that there aren't a lot of tourists. You know, like
Right.
if you go to Paris, everybody there is a tourist. You know, like
Yeah.
you go somewhere like Riga, Latvia, like. Nobody knows where that's at,
Right.
right? Nobody knows, you know.
Nobody
Like,
even
you're not
knows.
gonna see no Americans there. You're not gonna see any Black folks there.
Right.
So you're the Black American. It's
Right.
cool.
And you served in the army, so is that how you traveled?
So that was like the foundation of traveling, right? So the army sent me to Germany, right? And then when you get to Germany, you got to make a decision. Like here I am in Europe, I can keep traveling, or I can stay, you know, party, do my own little thing, stay on base, because a lot of people do.
Right.
So what happens is I ran into my boy Anthony, and he was like, "Look, bro, I've been living in Germany for 8 years, or I've been living in Europe for 8 years. Like you either gonna party, or you're gonna travel." So I'm like, "Where are we going?" So that's how it started, and then you know now I'm like 30 something countries in. So that's how I got my foot in the travel game.
All right, so we're gonna start with a couple games. We have to do this for the '90s era, the golden era, and whatnot. So we're gonna start with the Black TV shows. So I'm gonna name 4 TV shows, Black TV shows from the '90s.
One of them,
You have to choose one out of the 4.
yeah.
So
3
one,
have to go.
3 out.
3 out of
Three
3
gotta go.
So we kind of stole this from your Instagram itself. So let's go with the Black TV shows first. So we have The Fresh Prince, Family Matters, Moesha, and Barton. Which one would you choose out of the 4?
All right, so first off, Family Matters and Moesha gotta go.
Okay. Why though? Why?
Off top,
Why?
off top.
What you like so much about Family Matters though? Like,
It's just, I would watch it every morning and it felt like home.
That's
I
true.
don't know, I wasn't
That's
really
true.
into it like that.
Yeah, I wasn't watching it.
Urkel was cool, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like it was like a little bit too corny or something.
No,
It was like older.
But you were watching it like in high school days before you go to school. Family Matters be on, and you just
Yeah.
watch it before you go to class or whatnot.
Yeah,
But I can say Moesha is definitely out. But Family Matters,
Yeah, you gotta come with a harder question, bro. Oh, we should get in the boot off top.
all right, so it's between Martin and Fresh Prince, right?
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go with Fresh Prince. That was like my favorite show
Right.
growing up. Like easy answer.
Man. Okay, go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, definitely. I'm about to go with Fresh Prince. Honestly, I want to be just like Will. Just see the dancing, to the outfits, everything.
Man.
Like that. He was dope as hell. I mean, I don't know if anybody want to be Carlton like that, but
Right.
Fresh Prince all the way.
And he's still the GOAT today. Like, he's been an Instagram too. We
His
followed him.
Instagram popping already.
Man.
Yeah. Actually, I think I followed him because you guys
Posted
him. So
Yeah,
I was like,
as soon as he came on Instagram, I was like, we have to post about this.
yeah.
This is the GOAT
So I clicked
right
on you
here.
guys, and that's how I ended up
Cool.
there. I'm going to Fresh Prince.
Fresh Prince too?
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
to Fresh Prince.
I honestly been stuck between like Fresh Prince and Martin, bro, because I grew up with both. But like Fresh Prince had like so many other different stories, but Martin was just hilarious.
Martin is cool. Martin's cool, but like Jeffrey made Fresh
Oh,
Prince.
wow.
So like, he's like that hidden gem
Oh,
that
yeah.
people don't know. Like Jeffrey is funny.
Man.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll definitely say Fresh Prince.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. We have 90s black artists. So we obviously took out Tupac and Biggie
Yep.
because those are like the GOATs.
Yep.
So we have Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z, Nas, and Ice Cube. One of the four.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Jay-Z.
Jay-Z,
Yeah.
444, out now.
Yeah, I really like it, but we gonna go with Jay-Z because I mess with all the 90s albums
Okay.
and the early two.
Tripping. Tripping.
That's cool.
Okay, go ahead, Austin.
It was kind of a hard one because I really like Jay-Z, but when I was young in the 90s, like my brothers was pushing like West Coast stuff so hard, so I'm probably have to go with Snoop, honestly. Like in the 90s, he had
Hey,
all
hold
the
on.
hot albums.
What's crazy is his brother looked just like Snoop.
Like
he
dead
used to
on,
look
he had the
just
little
like
curl,
Snoop.
wear the little blue plaid
Yeah.
dress shirt.
Oh,
Like, so I'd be like, can I get your autograph? Like, sorry. So
We actually
like
have a friend
Snoop,
here.
man.
His name is Nick, but we call him Uncle Snoop. Shout out to
Uh-huh.
Uncle Snoop. He's fantastic too.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. He looks just like him too. It's crazy.
Yeah,
What about
I'm
you,
going
Chris?
with Hov, man. I'm
Oh,
going with Hov, yeah.
Of course. Okay. All right, we got two more games. So we have cartoons, 90s cartoons. So we have Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, and Johnny Bravo.
Dang, Johnny Bravo.
Johnny
Hey,
Bravo.
Let's go,
That was
Johnny Bravo. Do the monkey with me. Remember the song?
Yeah.
Man.
Man, I used to be so into Johnny Bravo, but that's a hard one.
Man.
That is a really hard one.
I'm gonna go with Hey Arnold on this
Okay.
one.
Why Hey Arnold?
I just like how there was like a bunch of characters. So each character had like their own personality. Like it wasn't just like Arnold. Like you had Helga,
Right.
And then you had I forgot the dude's
Gerald?
name. He used to always bother Helga all the time.
With the
He's-
glasses, and
yeah,
snort low key.
like chilling on the bus and
Yeah.
everything. Like he was just a weird character,
Yeah.
but it's pretty cool how he just popped up
Yeah.
like randomly and stuff like that.
I believe that most definitely.
Yeah.
What about you, Austin?
Man, I'm stuck in between the Rugrats and Hey Arnold.
Man,
but
same.
You know, I think I have to go with Hey Arnold though, because at that time, like you young and everything, and then like with the Helga thing, you might have been going through the same thing.
Right.
Some little girl at school
Hey,
or
I hope you
something.
wasn't going through the same thing.
I
I don't know about you in the neck like that.
Man, and then you got the little friend that kind of like came in with your little moves you did. Was it Gerald? That was
Oh,
his
yeah,
name?
Gerald.
Little
Gerald was
funny
the
little.
homie,
What,
yup.
what was that?
Man.
Like
he had
Will
like
Smith.
braids to the top or
And
something.
that's the thing though, because
Yeah.
I was actually looking up conspiracy things on Hey
Uh-huh.
Arnold,
Uh-huh.
and they were saying that with Hey Arnold, he was actually retarded. So like in his mind,
Oh, bro.
the reason why people's head shaped are so differently, I was like, no,
bro.
this ruined my childhood. Like, just
Who
thinking
came
about
up with that, though?
I don't know. It was a while ago though. I saw a conspiracy thing.
So that's why
online.
he had like a football head.
Yeah, that's why he had
Yeah.
football head and everybody else had different shapes of heads
Yeah.
because he was mentally retarded. So that's how he was viewing them.
Oh.
When it's playing Helga, missing all that hair.
Man, I don't know.
Write that one
Crazy,
up, though.
right? Let them know.
Yeah, and I'm going with Rugrats.
Okay.
I'm going with Rugrats. Yeah. I'm going with Rugrats, hands down, like Reptar cereal and all.
Man,
you know
I'm
what?
going with Rugrats, yeah.
Nah, I ain't gonna change my answer.
No, hey, it's okay to change it, bro. It's okay.
You gonna switch up like that?
Nah, I'm gonna stick with Hey
You
Arnold.
come to the dark side, bro.
I'm good.
We have one more. So we have the black 90s movies. So we have Friday, Boys in the Hood, House Party, and Bad Boys.
Right, you know.
Wait, what's the second one?
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
So Friday, Boys in the Hood, House Party, and Bad Boys.
Go ahead, Austin. Who you got?
So House Party and Bad Boys definitely out. That's not even nothing. So
Oh, that's
I'm gonna have
disrespectful.
I'm gonna have to all day go with Friday. After I watched that, I used to watch it almost every single day. I thought Chris Tucker was the funniest person in
Man.
the world, and I started trying to look up stand-ups and everything.
Right.
Like, he was
His old setups were
That was
hilarious.
too funny.
Yeah, he could recite like the whole entire movie.
Oh,
Right?
for real?
Like, I remember one time I
Man.
went over to his house He was reciting the whole movie while I was watching it. I'm like, what's the point of me watching the movie if you reciting the whole entire movie? Like,
right,
like that
right.
movie so underrated, man.
That's my brother too, because he be doing the same thing with what movie was it? Baby Boy. My brother knows
the whole thing. And they dropped so many
thing.
gems in Baby Boy.
Oh
Baby Boy is so underrated.
For real.
Yeah, that's one of those movies.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What about you, Chris?
I'm going with Friday.
Friday?
I'm going with Friday.
Alright,
I feel like everybody
I'm going
relates to
Friday
that.
too.
Yeah.
When his mom sent him to the store and said, "Make it enough."
Yeah.
Man, my mom didn't
Cooking
even
for it.
say
All
that.
the
Yeah.
No milk, man.
True that. All right, man. So let's get into business itself. You guys are really pretty hot on Instagram. Your followers are way up there. How long did it take you guys to get that much following?
I was my personal brand or my personal Instagram or my company.
Both, because you do incorporate both into.
Yeah. So my personal Instagram, it's probably been about a year and 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
And I was able to grow it fast. I think just having like maybe having some travel, having some like funny stuff, like me just, expressing like my personality, making funny videos with these dudes. I think people gravitate to it, because like they're like, all right, he is a business dude. He does do this, he does that, but he's an everyday dude, So I think just being relatable, people just start coming, And then when
there's
they
so
come,
many sides to himself. Like, it's just kind of like, okay, he's a businessman, but he's also funny, or maybe he's charming or whatnot, or people just like when people connect with you personally. Then obviously it shows, like, a lot of people will follow you.
And I think another like key thing too is like I'm not just like a bunch of people follow me. Like I'm interacting with people. Like I got Instagram friends that I'm like, like how's little Tommy doing? Like I see he graduated. Like we're connecting on there. There's personal relationships because business is about people. So. I think I'm just like a relatable person, so I think that's how I kind of connected.
Right. A lot of people get to like where he was at, when they start acting standoffish, like they just celebrities now and things like that. I'm pretty sure, you have friends like that, so that's what probably makes it different with him. He'll actually connect. Let him know how you doing, what's going on. Like, he's still cool because he can take it.
Yeah, drop some gems on him. I get on my little Instagram live every once in a while. Yeah, so there's like a lot of things that I think just people gravitate because I think people see themselves in me and I see myself in people. So
that's good.
I think that's why people.
What about you guys, GoldenEra?
All right, so for the GoldenEra, personally, I just feel like we post a lot of content on there.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily like, okay, buy my shirt, buy this hat, buy this design. No, it's like, one gotta go, or like, what did you like about this? So I feel like everybody likes to kind of like voice their opinion, right? So we use that to our knowledge, and then we'll make posts. So like everybody comments with their opinion. They may tag a friend or whatnot. If their friend sees like a certain post, then they'll follow us. So it just kind of makes everything that we post and do interesting. And then a side effect of that is like, dang, this page is so dope. Let me go check out their website now. What are they about? Like, So it's kind of like that element of surprise that we hit people with. And then also what we do is like we find like 90s accounts to help us out. So what we'll do is, we'll go to this big 90s account, take some of their followers, and then we'll also like see if they can help us out like with a post or something like that. So we've grown pretty fast. Like we started in like March, right?
I think it was definitely in March, and we it's already like
how
kind of
you guys have right now?
skyrocketing.
It's like 16.2K or something like that.
Somewhere.
I think we had 16.3 now.
So it's like
hey, everybody, I woke up and checked it.
You're right.
I checked it this morning.
Right. So honestly, for a year, you grew pretty fast, and like even what is it? Tyga, he followed our account.
Oh yeah.
And then Drew Holiday played for the Pelicans. He also made a $99 purchase from us, so it's pretty dope too. We actually thought about writing them or some type of thing. That's pretty dope that somebody famous or celebrity end up purchasing from
So
us.
how did you guys get the design? You explained to me earlier that you had to get a lawyer to figure out if it was okay to use because you're definitely using the 90s show itself on the shirt.
We can it's just more so like when he spoke to the lawyer, is basically saying like putting faces and stuff is more so that's when you can kind of enter the lawsuit. If you get really big, that's when this company will hit you and sue you for something. But if you take the faces off the shows, people know the representation of what this is, but then it's like you can't really put it plus because there's no face on it. And then with designs like we actually hit people up. We ask them exactly what we want on the shirt, hoodie, whatever, etc. And then they'll put it on there. We'll see if we like it. Mess around with it. See like, hey, put this right here. Put the GoldenEra under there. And then once we get that, we'll put it on our shirt. We go through like a little app that we use. We put it on our shirts, and we can add it all within our website.
Man.
And just to like add on to that, it's kind of like we're not just taking like a name from the 90s, right, and put it on a shirt. Like we're kind of creating our own. We're adding our own creative element to the shirt. Definitely. So that kind of helps us out in a way because it's just not like, oh yeah, like I like Erykah Badu, right, because she's from the 90s, right. Oh, I'm gonna buy a shirt from them. Like no, it's like I like the whole entire 90s era or 2000s era. So we're trying to connect people not just with one particular artist, but just with the whole entire like
the
genre.
theme, the vibe of the 90s.
Yeah, exactly.
So have you guys ever thought about creating like an actual 90s clothes apparel itself, not just a graphic design, but like bring back the old-fashioned type of wear?
Yeah, because I see 90s clothes coming back all the time.
Yeah.
So just
in the future, definitely, because I mean it is 90s and 2000s, but I mean definitely because you know they had a lot of like so many like significant wears like back during that time.
Wait. Let me add on to this because there was a lot of no-nos from the 90s too and the 2000s. Like we're not bringing back 5X tall tees. Right?
We're not talking about that. Not that era. No, definitely not the era.
Like it's the golden era. But there was some guys.
I'm talking about like the Adidas jumpsuits. People had certain things is pretty dope. You know. And then also what differentiates it sometimes too in mega designs, you know, some of them we put the GoldenEra at the top too, so you know, knows like it's with the right company.
And it's true though too, because when it comes to the faces, like I showed my mom the hat you guys gave me, and she was like, "Is that supposed to be you?" I was like, "Mom."
Yeah, like she didn't know exactly. Like,
right, so you know exactly what I was like, "Mom, what kind of show are we watching in the 90s?" I was watching all the time. Oh, Fresh Prince. She's like, "Okay,
that's dope though."
That's dope. So the fact that my mom thought it was me, I was like, "I'm not light skinned, I don't have no fro." Like, man, like mini fro. Right.
I don't know how that happened, but
it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
All right, so as a business itself, what do you want to say for people that are trying to start their own business?
Yeah, what advice would you give to, I mean, a lot of CSUSB students want to be entrepreneurs, so what advice would you give?
Well, I feel like right now, like being an entrepreneur is like the hot thing to do, you know? But I would suggest for people, like, when you want to start your brand initially, what you want to do is, like, you want to either solve a problem or you want to, like, evoke some type of emotion with people.
Right.
So, like, that's what you should always be thinking when you start, like, a brand or a business. And then also, just to add on to that, like, you may want your friends and family to, like, support you initially, and you may feel like you're not getting that support. But the thing is like you have to believe in yourself before anybody else believes in you. And just like even if like strangers will support you before your friends. Oh, yeah. But then once your friends see strangers start supporting you, then they'll hop on or whatnot. So don't worry too much about what your friends and family think, or don't worry too much about like if they're supporting you or not, because you know you have your own vision and nobody else can see your vision besides yourself. And you shouldn't get too caught up in other people's opinions anyway. Like, you know, you have your own vision, and that's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Austin.
I mean,
you want to bring up that light in the tunnel?
He's
smiling at me like,
Nah. So I was saying, kind of like I remember they was talking earlier about y'all moving around, living situations. I mean, for all the young entrepreneurs out there, even if you're not going to school, I mean, something might have happened, you lost a job, whatever, just, you know, keep on pushing. Like, no matter what the situation is, like he was saying, just believe in you. Just make sure you know at the end of the day, you believe in you. And when people see that you believe in you, that light going to shine throughout, and everybody just going to, you know, they going to more so come to you.
Right. Exactly.
Just keep pushing.
So my advice, let's see. For all the people that might want to get started, this is a few things I got to say. One is fund yourself, right? If possible, fund yourself. So if your options were to, you know, like get a loan for X amount of money and start a company that way now, or to grind and save, you know, for over 2-3 years,
right,
and then you can save up that money and then, you know, invest it into your company, take that second option, right? Because what's going to happen is you put up your own money. First of all, you're going to see this money in your account, and you're going to see it gone. You know, you're going to spend it on marketing, you're going to spend it on products, you're going to spend it on web design, you're going to spend it on all these things, right? Speaking of lawyers, you're going to spend your money on all these things, and then it's just going to light that fire under your ass, like, yo, I got to get that money back. You know, like, I got to get it back. So I would say fund yourself, stay away from business partners, because sometimes it might work, but sometimes if your vision ain't my vision, you know, but yo, this is where I'm going with it.
The passion has to be equal.
Yeah, the passion has to be equal, right? So that's like really important. They say, you know, 20% of people do 80% of work, and it's gonna work like that in your classroom when you got group projects. If you at work at a 9 to 5, whatever, like you're gonna have those people who can go and get it, and then you're gonna have those people who want to piggyback, right?
Right.
So if you're not with those 20%ers, stay away from them.
Right.
And then the third piece of advice is to connect with people. That's what it's about. You know, like whether I'm selling water bottles or watches, you know what I mean? It's people who have to buy, you know?
Right.
It's all about people, right?
Right.
So that's my three little keys, my little gems.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, got time? Cool. All right, so shirts for all you guys. The large for you.
Thank you.
We had toss in the other. This is
So
It's medium.
right. That's the extra large. Give it to Chris.
Nice, good.
But I got you this medium.
Oh, that was what?
Pass that over there. You got the extra
Yeah,
large.
yeah. Big body.
All day.
Man, this is Crafting News. We're here with 17th Watches and GoldenEra. Thank you for joining us again. See you guys soon. We got some more content coming your way.